Big D's entertainment rankings and reviews. Back to back reviews.
Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and I'm back with another back-to-back review. Today I'm going to be doing back-to-back reviews of the third and the fourth of the Mortal Kombat Legends films. Now, these two, one's kind of, I'm mostly mixed on, but pretty close to being positive in a way. But the other one I'm very positive on. Before I start, if you have yet to see the first part, I'd highly recommend you watch the first part of this. Well, I didn't count as part one though, but see the first two Mortal Kombat Legends reviews that go into this. Well, before you go into this, well, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked with my words and what have you, my bad. But I am going to tell you to watch that vid before I go into this one. Now, of course, with back-to-back reviews, it'll be kind of like what I do with spoiler-free reviews. So I'm not going to give you the whole story and what have you. So just most of it. So here we go with the first film in this back-to-back review. Okay, first up is the 2022 flick of Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind. Now, Warner Bros. Animation once again produces and releases this, but this time the animation is done by South Korean studio Digital Emation. This was released on physical media and on digital October 11th, 2022, the third overall installment of Mortal Kombat Legends. The film borrows elements from the plot of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance as well as Mortal Kombat Deception and Mortal Kombat 11, and it is a direct sequel to Battle of the Realms, and has received mixed to positive reviews, unlike the last one. Decades after Shao Kahn's defeat in Mortal Kombat, Earthrealm has been attacked by undead revenants and become a wasteland of isolated cities. The Black Dragon Clan, Kira, Cobra, Farah, Tor, Draymond, Cabal, Aaron Black, No Face, Dairu, Tremor, and Jarek, along with an aged Shang Tsung, has annexed these cities, with their leader Kano declaring himself king. Meanwhile, an aged Kuai Ling, has abandoned the title of Sub-Zero and lives a farmer's life. Cabal, Kira, and Cobra assault him and steal his supplies before entering an untouched city that is the home of the brash young warrior Kenshi. He defeats the trio in combat but spares their lives. They flee but return later to the city with fellow clansmen Tremor and Shang Tsung in tow. When Kenshi announces himself by his full name, his surname, Takashi, catches Shang Tsung's attention, and after Kenshi is defeated by Tremor, he intervenes and prevents his execution. Under the alias of Song, he tells Kenshi of a powerful sword called Sento that could be used to defeat the Black Dragon. Kenshi is lured to a desert where the Well of Souls is located, and when he opens it, energy surges from the well and blinds him, while Shang Tsung absorbs it and is rejuvenated with a younger form, after which he throws Kenshi into the well and leaves him to die. However, Kenshi hears the mystic sword Sento speaking to him telepathically, and he takes the weapon and frees himself from the well. Now, and if you want to know what happens then, you must watch the movie. Now, again, I do owe you apologies for leaving you hanging out by a thread, but I want to try and make these go as fast as I can. Now, for my thoughts on this film, I am going to say this is not too bad in what I have you, but it still might have a little bit of an issue though, or two. But anyway, the reviews were mixed to positive. The film sets at 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it the second overall Mortal Kombat film to have a good high rating next to Scorpion's Revenge. Sam Stone of Comic Book Resources wrote that the film was the most intimate story of the Mortal Kombat Legends trilogy and is all about character at its heart. Now that I do agree and what have you. However, Ronaldo Matin of the same place lambasted the film's inclusion of Scorpion as an overused franchise trope, commenting that it's as if the series doesn't trust other A-listers, instead falling back on a lazy, tedious, creative move. Factually, that's true. Brittany Vincent of IGN rated this a 6 out of 10, saying that centering the plot mostly around Kenshi is a smart move, and it's refreshing to see a character that doesn't get much screen time shine for a bit, but criticized the plot for spending too much time elsewhere away from Kenshi when we've already been drawn in and want to learn more about him. Yes, this is kind of a little bit of an issue I have with the film. Yes, it should have, well, give us some more insight on Kenshi and what have you, and all that stuff. Stephen Wilds of ComingSoon.net praised the voice acting, the character roster, and engaging fight scenes. But it's hard not to think that this outing won't hit as well for casual fans or those who don't appreciate the apocalyptic Western genre. Well, I liked its saying and what have you. The fight sequences are absolutely awesome and still bloody like before. Now, of course, they have John James Boyd and Eric V. A chicken once again back on board to do the film's score, and I will give it credit for that. For the voice acting cast, we have Main Jacinto, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, as Kenshi. David Wim voices Kano. Ron Yuan voices the aging Kuai Ling, aka Sub Zero. Keith Silverstein voices Cabal. Courtney Taylor as Kira. Yuri Lowenthal as Cobra. Art Butler as Shang Tsung. Amari Williams as Tremor. Patrick Seitz as Hanzo, aka Scorpion. Lei Yin as Sento and the character Peter, Sumali Montano as Kindra, and Deborah Wilson as Graji. So I will say the voice acting cast for Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind's pretty good, but it just didn't quite turn out like I had thought it would be. I thought it would give us a little bit of an insight on Sub Zero, but it didn't. That's kind of another issue I have. But however, it does prove to be have one of the most intimate stories from this franchise yet. So yes, I do agree on that. So I would rank this as a good film and what have you. But it is kind of mixed bag, almost like, well, Battle for the Realm, but just much, but with a little more better feel to it. At least it doesn't go from one thing to another, like that film did. So in the end, I think Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind is not that bad of a film. I would recommend you check it out. Now, of course, I've already mentioned this film's available on physical media since it was originally released on physical media, and it's currently available on HBO Max to stream if you can't find it. So, now to the next one. Okay, now here's a little bit of a review of the fourth and last film to be released of this franchise, Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match, released on October 17th, 2023. Now, this time, the, by the stu- by but this time Studio IM is the company that animates them. This is a prequel to the other Mortal Kombat Legends films, and this time around it focuses on Johnny Cage, focusing on his attempt to save his co-star Jennifer Grey while fighting a secret society that plots the destruction of Earthrealm. So, in other words, this is an origin story. It's around Christmas in the 1980s. Action star and martial artist Johnny Cage is attempting to make his big break with his next movie known as Ninja Mime. The film's producer Brian Van Jones expresses concerns over the disappearance of his co-star Jennifer Grey, prompting him to seek her out alongside his loyal assistant Chuck Golden. When he arrives at her mansion, Cage finds two women named Ashra and Kia battling each other over a mysterious scroll, and he ends up getting caught in their fight, and the three escape before Jennifer's house explodes from a planet bomb. As Ashra and Kia continue their fight on the highway, Cage hijacks a tour bus to pursue him, which kills Kia after Ashra ejects her from her car. Cage manages to retrieve the scroll with Ashra with Golden's help. The two find it is a star map of LA with Greek text on the back. Meanwhile, Ashra returns to the White Lotus Society to report to Lord Raiden, who encourages her to enlist Cage's help for the coming battles ahead. Yes. Then it really takes twists and turns along the way, but I still find this to be pretty darn good. Now, you must watch the movie to see what happens then, but I will tell you, you're going to get to have one hell of a time with it. Now, unfortunately, this is the only Mortal Kombat Legends film that does not have a score from Rotten Tomatoes, as much as I hate to say it. However, there is good reviews on this. It's got good reviews. Sam Stone of Comic Book Resources called the film a goofy love letter to the 80s, and that there are moments throughout the film where the audience may have to remind themselves that they're watching a Mortal Kombat movie because it really doesn't feel like a tangential, yeah, tangent, tangential story for the franchise and more of an off kilter solo spin-off for Johnny Cage. True. The animation makes you feel like you're seeing a motion move an anime motion movie featuring the characters on the cover art for Grand Theft Auto games or something like that in a way, sort of. Matt Donato of IGN rated this a 6 out of 10, commenting the film is more interested in Johnny slinging one liners laced with 80s pop culture references than it is replicating gameplay. It's a contained Mortal Kombat movie that feels underwhelming as a result until a third act where Johnny squares off against Chinook up and down Hollywood Boulevard. It seems like the film is trying to lampoon cheesy action movies, but instead winds up being one itself. Well, that may be, but I still found this to be fun. Douglas Davidson of Elements of Madness said this film is delivering a delightful mystery that starts soft and ends with a series of blood soaked fatalities. As long as that's all you're looking for, you're going to have a good time. And boy, did I get a good time. I had a lot of fun with this. This was pretty darn awesome. It had a good setting in the 80s. The animation looked pretty good in Miami. Maybe not quite as good as the other films did, but this film I found its animation to be pretty good. Now, of course, no composer for the music is mentioned though, unfortunately. But even so, I found this to be pretty cool, and what have you. It was just so awesome. Sure, and it does have some crazy one-liners and what have you, but I didn't care. I figured that's Johnny Cage for us. I mean, since he was kind of like that in the first two movies, he had to be like it for this one. You know what? Yeah. Anyway, we do have a pretty good voice acting cast. And for Johnny Cage, who is once again voiced by Joel McHale, who of course voiced him in the first two movies. He again does one hell of a job. I mean, the way he looks when you first see him, he's dressed up like Sonny Crockett from Miami Vice. That was pretty darn cool, though. Jennifer Grey voices herself and as the character of Serena. Not too bad. Dustin Brown voices Chuck Golden. I've got to say he's pretty good. And the character of Mocap. Gray DeLisle voices Kia as well as an old woman and little boy. Yeah. Robin Atkin Downs as Chinook. Chinook. Very good. Zara Fazal as Jataka. And then, of course, we have playing Johnny's agent, David Double E is the late great Gilbert Gottfried. This was released just a year after he passed away. Yeah, as this was actually billed as in the end of the credits that this was dedicated in his memory. Kelly Hu plays does the voice of Ashra, very good. Plus, we got lots of other good voices: Matthew Yang King, Phil Lamar, Matthew Mercer, Davey Mitchell, and Armin Taylor. So you got to admit, this has a pretty good voice acting cast. You be the judge on this, but I did have a lot of fun with Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match. It was a fun-filled flick from start to finish. I absolutely loved it, and don't hate me. I think I would rank this as the second best film in my opinion. This series next to Scorpion's Revenge, because Scorpion's Revenge is pretty darn awesome. So I definitely would recommend you watch Cage Match if you want something with a little 80s feel and a little fun feel to it. And if you really want to see something before you go see Mortal Kombat 2 with Johnny Cage, then this is a film you need to look into. The film's on physical media and it's available to watch and, well, or should I say, stream on HBO Max. So that's going to do it. What did you think of Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind and Cage Match? Have you seen either one of these two films? If so, tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a re-review of The Burning. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other films in the Mortal Kombat franchise. I'll give you the same ones I did like last time. The upper left-hand corner is my review of the original from 1995. The upper right-hand corner is my review of 1997's Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And the bottom left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of the 2021 reboot of Mortal Kombat. Now again, I'm looking forward to seeing the sequel to that this weekend, so be prepared for that. In the bottom right hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.